We are talking about the movie The Bad Nun, which was originally called The Watcher. Now this one is written and directed by Scott Jeffrey. Now if we look at it, obviously it's got more recent name change, The Bad Nun. Oh, that movie title is so literal, because this, you could say, is the Bad Nun movie. It really is a bad movie. Obviously the name was changed to really kind of I guess draw focus from the James Wan Conjuring Universe Nun movie, which is coming out in sort of late 2018. There's actually been a couple of other kind of like nun-based horror movies that have kind of come out around that sort of same time to obviously capitalise on what they obviously think is going to be a kind of a big horror hit. So what is this one about? This is actually a British movie and really is a slasher film, but it's essentially Psycho. It focuses on this young girl, and okay, this is a ridiculous plot point as it is. So she's a bit of a party girl apparently, and so her mother sends her to this bed and breakfast, which is in the middle of the country, miles away, so she can study without distractions. So yeah, that's exactly what you would do as a parent if your child is, you know, not doing very well at college. You would send them away unsupervised. Anyway, when she's there, as it turns out, there is this sort of strange nun character stalking the kind of the premises, and obviously has evil in mind. And there's a couple of other kind of victims. Like I've said, you've seen Psycho, pretty much. You know, there's your movie. Okay, what works? Let's have a couple of things. What works? The intro of this movie, the credits are actually quite, I think, effective, and they do quite a good job of setting up something which seems to be like it's quite disturbing. They have this kind of like old archive footage of this boy and this kind of like slightly off-camera nun, and that you feel that there's something going on there, and I actually quite like the subtlety of that. You know, it's implied that there's weird things kind of going on here without actually ever really showing you anything, but that's the only subtlety that you will get in this movie. But what else quite works? I think the score isn't too bad actually. The score actually is fairly effective in giving you some kind of quite creepy kind of like incidental music and stuff like that, so that was quite good. And in the grand scheme of things, our main actress, Becca Hirani, isn't too bad compared to the rest of the cast here. Oh, okay, let's get into it. I don't like to be too hard on movies if I can help it, because I appreciate everyone's worked hard and no one intends to make a bad film, but sometimes you've just got to call a spade a spade. Man, this is a terrible film. Where to start? Okay, the acting. As I've mentioned, the lead actress isn't bad. She's by no means fantastic, but compared to the rest of the cast, it's terrible. Our one male member of the cast here is beyond pantomime, ridiculous, and there's just right from the first scene. Obviously, you have your kind of intro, which is quite good. You know, your credits. Then we have like this prologue scene detailing you a kind of another kind of victim, and it's just stupid. I mean, like this is the first thing, so I'm going to tell you. So it's basically this girl who's on Tinder or something, and she kind of, you know, starts messaging what she thinks is this guy, and straight away she says, "Oh, come over to my house," and then she goes there, and she's like, and he's like, "Oh, come in, the door's unlocked," and he's like, "I'm upstairs," but then he's texting her this, but never said anything. At that point, any woman is going to get out of there. I don't care who you are, you've got to be brain dead to do anything other than that. And it's this stupid, wonky premise. Then we obviously cut to our kind of our main story, and don't be expecting any cool nuns effects. It's just a kind of literally a nun costume from a joke shop with a kind of a black body socking over the face to kind of obviously disguise who's underneath. And the actual reveal of who the nun is played like it's meant to be like a shock. But it could be anyone else. I mean, the cast is quite small, and it's so obvious. It's like, is this meant to be a surprise? I mean, do you think no one's seen Psycho? I mean, just like, man, and there's the cast is so small, it can't be anyone else. But I won't spoil it for you, just in case. The kills are poor. There's not too much. I guess there's a little bit of prosthetics on some wounds and stuff, which doesn't look so bad. But the acting is just terrible. I mean, the acting is so bad. The whole cast really is pretty amateur. I mean, like I said, the main girl isn't so bad, but you know, in comparison to the rest of this cast here, the actual pacing of the film is ridiculously slow. They are scenes that go on for way too long. I mean, clearly there's not a lot of story here. So some of the scenes feel like they've been padded out to obviously make it a kind of feature-length running time. But there's a scene where we have this girl and she's like, there's the nun outside the door trying to sort of like talk her way in. And just like, it doesn't make sense when you understand the whole story to begin with. And then secondly, it just like, it goes on forever. And it just like, it just takes so long. I mean, there's just so little to this film. There's times that don't make sense. We have a friend that comes, that is on her way. Again, it doesn't make sense. So we have this friend that is meant to be joining her for some reason, and she calls her from a petrol station, and so I'm, you know, I'm kind of on my way or whatever, and I'll be there soon or whatever. And then immediately afterwards, the proprietor of this bed and breakfast says, "Oh, can you go and turn the lights off in the tennis court?" And she goes out to do this, and then immediately the friend turns up. I think, well, the friend must have been like 10 feet away. Why would she bother even calling it? It's stupid. So it's just no thought put into this movie whatsoever. It's not scary at all. I mean, I've seen out of the 3 kind of like B-movie nun films, now I've seen 2 of them. And the other one was a lot better, I will say. But yeah, this one is just terrible, I'm afraid. So, there you go. Sorry if you're watching this and you're involved in this movie. I cannot lie. Yeah, I would best avoid this one. It is basically, looks like it's just kind of made by friends as a kind of student film or something like that, or just a kind of like something to do, and then they've released it because it's got nuns in it, and obviously we have the kind of the nun movie coming out. But man, don't be fooled by the kind of the cover here. It's nothing like that. 2 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.